Parashat Shemot of the book of Exodus, the birth of the Jewish nation. And this is likewise the first real national exile. And a fascinating description. Exodus chapter 1, verse 7. And the children of Israel were fruitful and prolific, and they multiplied, and they were mighty, very mighty, very, very mighty. Vatimolei haaretz otam. And the earth was filled with them. The land of Egypt was filled with them. 7 descriptions of how the 70 people who came to Egypt with Jacob multiplied in Egypt land. The fundamental issue is this a positive description or a negative description? And the truth is that it's a negative description, because of one critical Hebrew word that you cannot necessarily understand from my translation. Uvenei Yisrael paru v'yishritzu v'yirbu. And the children of Israel were fruitful and proliferated and multiplied. Now this word, Peru, these words, Peru, Revu, be fruitful and multiply, always come together. In this context, there's a word that separates them, v'yishritzu. And v'yishritzu, I translate it as they proliferated. But it comes from the root noun sheretz, which means a swarming, creeping thing, which is clearly a negative. And the sheretz is ritually impure and causes ritual impurity. And likewise, vatimolei haaretz otam, the land was filled with them, means they went all over, even to the places they shouldn't have gone. To the discos, to the nightclubs. Places where Jewish religious, educational entertainment was not there. And therefore comes the very next verse. Verse 8 of chapter 1. And there arose a new king over Egypt who did not know Joseph. I want to explain the hidden message of these 2 verses and the critical message for all of Jewish history. God made a covenant with the Jewish people in the book of Genesis. He promised that we would be an eternal nation. But to be an eternal nation, we have to believe in ourselves, we have to believe in our narrative and in our mission, and we have to transmit it from generation to generation, intact. What happens when we assimilate? And the other nations are not able to destroy us, but we destroy ourselves. That's apparently what was happening in Egypt. And God says, in the beginning of our national history, the first opening of the book of Exodus, if you will remember that you are Jews, I guarantee you that you will live forever. And no persecution will be able to destroy you. But if you are assimilating, you are forgetting that you are Jews. The syndrome of all other nations that are visitor peoples in other host countries and disappear into the fabric of the host countries will almost happen to you. Then I tell you, I will see to it that there will be an evil, wicked leader who will not allow you to forget that you are Jews, who will remind you that you are Jews because he will not allow his people to marry with you. He will not allow you to be Jews because he will cause Ivrei, Hebrew, to be written in your passport, as Stalin did, as part of his whole anti-Semitic designs. He will not let you belong to the clubs and to enter the fancy eateries of the host country, like Hitler forbade Jewish entry to all those places. If you will not remember that you are Jews by keeping faith with the commandments, God will force you to remember that you are Jews by having a host country cause you to suffer and not allow you to assimilate with the host country. That's the story of Jewish history. Very often we were on the road to assimilation, and there arose a tyrant. Sometimes we have to be thankful for the anti-Semitic tyrants. However, we can never be thankful or justify the evil that they do to us, because that's already their own volitional choice. May it be God's will that Jews throughout the diaspora remember that they are Jews by keeping the commandments in good faith and in happiness, that there be no need for persecution against the Jewish people anywhere. May it be God's will that Jews throughout the diaspora, please God, find their national and normal home in the state of Israel. Shabbat Shalom.